Sir, I have also the honor to have you as my teacher. So you taught us during my fellowship in pediatric surgery. We have a topic on pediatric orthopedics. So you have taken some of our classes and you taught us very well. You gave us, ask our questions if there is any gray zone, whether we have understood or not. You took feedback and your class was excellent. But sir, many of the teachers, we are making doctors but not teachers. So do you think that the qualitative change in teaching learning process, faculty development, this is necessary?
I would say that you see, teaching is a teaching. Being a doctor, being a surgeon is a surgeon, but not necessarily being good teacher. And the best surgeon may not be the best teacher. So that development of faculty, of teaching faculty, of producing teacher, like the medical students, they have got to go to the community and find out what they are going to do. Here we have got to get the teachers to know how the students can learn. What is their problem? Whether they can interact with the teachers. Are they afraid of teachers and run away? In my days when I used to see my teacher far away, I used to run away because I don't know to go in front of it. Here now I feel the teacher and the student has to be good friends. They have to come to each other and get to know each other well so that they can interchange their ideas. So the development of a teacher, not only being a good doctor, but the development of a teacher has to be taken totally separately. And I feel very strongly that this teaching for the teachers has to be taken very, very well. Otherwise, being a good doctor not necessarily means a good teacher.
You are actually having some plan for faculty development. Okay.
So we need more funds for this. We have a medical education unit, but that is not that much active.
Right.
We have a center for medical education. They do it limited.
We have a center for medical education through which some of this teaching process goes on, improving, but we need to do more emphasis in this
I'm
sector.
also a student. I'm also doing a master's in medical education from Center for Medical Education, but they have limited programs. So I think they need more fund. Also the medical college, they have a medical education unit. That should be strengthened.
This should be more strengthened, and the teaching of the teachers or development of the faculty has to be taken very seriously.
Sir, actually, what is your perception? Like enough faculty interest is there regarding these things? Faculty, they are interested in these things?
I would say that, you see, there is a variation in human development everywhere. All individuals are not equal. All doctors are not equal. So all teachers cannot be equal. So we have to make them interested. We have to get them to see how they can improve themselves. Wherever there are problems in the individual, that we have got to take that into consideration and see how we can improve this. It's like a small baby going into this very basic schools and then trying to take that. Somebody has qualified, done the post-graduation, has become a very good surgeon, but has not gone through a teaching process. So you have got to take that process, teaching process again from the beginning and see how we can develop this further so that he becomes a good teacher as well as a good doctor. This is again a teachers training program. Unless we have a teachers training program, and it not only one program, continuous the teachers training program every time in every development, then we will not have this. So
our next question is on enrollment system. So you know that our enrollment system is purely on merit basis, but you have already mentioned that human qualities is, if not more, but are equally important. So, but in last 40 years since independence, such important factors are not considered during enrollment process. Why do you think nobody is looking after this issue? And would you like to address?
Very important question, and very, very sophisticated and very very important issue that has been brought up. Why do you go by merit only? Now, if we do not go by merit, what is the other things that we can go by? By human quality, then taking interviews and going for sitting for other issues. In a developing country like ours, there are many options through which we can select. I think through trial and error, we have seen that the options, if you leave it to other than the merit, there are some other problems to creep in, which may create more problem. But I do totally agree. Even if we have selected by merit, that aptitude test for that gentleman, for that young fellow, should be still taken in, whether does he really want to become a doctor. I am sure in your class, and it was in my class, and in every class, in every medical school, everybody gets admitted, and then 5-10 students go away because they think they can. I'm sure this is still continuing. So they think they can become a doctor, but after some time they leave it, and they become very senior officers in many places. So this part is not only here. I have seen it in Europe. I have seen it in UK, that somebody getting admitted in the medical school there and then leaving.
Our foreign secretary, he studied in Dhaka Medical College for 2 years. Then he left, and now he is foreign secretary.
So it is all over the country, not only in Bangladesh. I have seen it in many countries, that the students to get in with all aptitude tests, all everything, then they want to come into the medical school, and then they find they are not really suitable, they want to move away. I don't think there is anything wrong, but I'm sure if we could select, and if there is any better process of aptitude test and the social circumstances, etc., things will improve.
Sir, our next question will be on how we can keep the doctors in rural areas or outreach areas. So it's a big issue. It's so nationwide it is actually
it's an international issue. It's not only a national issue. You see, in any country you go, people don't want to go into the rural area. They would like to have the best facility, best house, best car, best road. I think this is unfortunately in a developing country like ours, we have not been able to address this issue very well. I do fully realize that if somebody can stay in Dhaka city, why they should go into the most distant part. So we must look into that. We must see that the fellow who have been working in the most distant part must be rewarded in some way. I don't mean on money only, but there are other rewards that can be given. This is an issue that we have been thinking very seriously. Just 2 days ago we have been having a meeting, and we have sort of instructed the people who are getting enrolled right now. Some few hundred people have been enrolled here. They will be coming into the jobs. So what I have told my staff, that people who have been in the most remotest part, move them up in the cities and get these people go to the remotest part, so that the fellow who was working in the remotest part knows that he has not been forgotten. Right. So that is one way of remuneration. Then we can do many kinds of remuneration, not only for money but also for post-graduation, but also for training, career training, and etc. So it has been very difficult all over the world to keep the doctors in the rural area, and more so in a country like ours. We have been trying to address this issue very seriously. We are trying to motivate the doctors, and that is, as I said before, one of the problems that they have not been motivated during their study period, that they need to go to the village, they need to...
Schools actually their roles in motivating them from the very beginning. Okay.
So that's some of these things, if we can improve, I'm sure the things will improve in future. I can tell from my experience when I worked in the village in my very early career, those are the days are really very useful, not only building your career, but you remember those days for the rest of your life. If you really mix with the local people and the village people, very simple people, very easy to satisfy, very simple treatment, but if you look after them, they remember you like a god, and they remember you throughout their whole life. So this people don't realize. So if you can make the doctors realize that this is a sector they should invest and try to look into, I'm sure things will improve.
And sir, there is in some countries, for some periphery, remote periphery, they have a program that they enroll some of the students from that local area, and after graduation they will serve at least 2 or 3 years in their area. In Bangkok, Thailand, they are doing this.
This is a part of this program we have seen in many other countries. This may be one issue, but that's the enrollment issue. There is the other issue that we have been thinking, because we have what we call cadre service. Whether we can individualize the cadre, whether that service is meant for that hospital, right, whether we can be for that rural hospital, whether we can advertise within the cadre system, without losing any benefit from the government, whether that service can be advertised, that are you interested to go to this hospital, into this post. Then if somebody applies, then you will go there. Right. We can tell them that if you go there for 2 years, you will be given a 10 marks for your postgraduate examination, or you will be given an opportunity to have a training in foreign, something like that, so that people can be attracted. Otherwise, if the worst possible places, nobody will apply. So we have to, yeah, I think these are some of the things we are really thinking.